Hey everyone, we're back with Academia School Simulator Devlog number 10. We are Squeaky Wheel, an independent PC game studio based in the Philippines. My name is Ryan Sumo, lead artist, co-founder, and maker of delayed devlogs. It's been almost 4 months since our last devlog, and since that time we launched Alpha 2 and have added quite a few new mechanics to the game. So I'm not going to waste your time, let's just jump right into things. So back when Academia first launched, you would plop a teacher down on a classroom and then that teacher would then proceed to teach all of the subjects in that one classroom. Obviously that's a little bit unrealistic, so we changed that system up. Now, you'll need to hire at least one teacher per subject and then assign them to that subject's departments. So after clicking on the department button over here in the lower right corner, you can see that we have the different departments here, and then you can hire teachers and then assign them to the department. So let's go ahead and do that for the language department. Okay, let's go through a bunch of these guys. Daniel, Tim, Jonathan. Okay, so Jonathan has a bachelor's degree, but he has a pretty good language score for for his salary, so he's pretty good value for money. I'm gonna go ahead and hire him. And now once he's hired, he'll go to the teacher pool, the available teacher pool, and that's where you can assign him to the language department. So why do we have a teacher hiring pool? It's just in case you want to reassign your teachers. For example, Jonathan's also pretty good at art. Let's remove him from the language department and then click on the art department, then assign him there. So it gives you a bit of flexibility with teachers. Like if you find a couple of teachers that are good at multiple subjects, you can rearrange them as you see fit. But for now, let's remove him and put him back to the language department. So now once a teacher is assigned to the language department, then they will teach all of the language subjects for each of the school years. Let's check that out by clicking on the schedule button. And so as you can see here, Jonathan is teaching the freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior classes for all the language subjects. So each teacher will teach all of the subjects as long as the schedule allows. So up until 3 p.m. After which you'll probably need to hire a different teacher. So to see what that would look like, I'm gonna close this game and then load up a new save file so you guys can see what like a fully fledged school schedule looks like. So let's take a look at the schedule for a much larger school. As you can see here, we have 2 teachers for the language department. That's Weldon Stalter and Catherine Sky, and they're switching it up every other subject or every other class. Now, we have these rules here, as you can see, so you can kind of control when the teachers change classes. So, for example, if I click on this, you'll notice that the rule is teachers will switch every 2 subjects. So now Weldon will be teaching the first 2 subjects and then switching up with Catherine, the 3rd subject. For example, what you might want to do here is maybe you want Weldon Stalter to be teaching all of the freshman years. So you can click on this again and they'll switch up every 3 subjects. So now Weldon Stalter teaches all of the freshman classes. So that's something that you can kind of experiment with and see which schedule works for you, and try to work it so that your teachers teach the classes, the specific classes that you want them to. Another thing that you can change is you can change when your students have recess and lunch. Well, you can change it per year level. So, for example, here you can see that the sophomores have recess at 10 a.m. and the juniors have recess at 9 a.m. So why would you want to do this is so that you can kind of maximize some of your facilities. So for example, if you have a cafeteria and everyone crams in there during lunchtime, you can change it up so that like different classes have lunch at different times, so that your cafeteria and your cafeteria staff aren't so overworked and overwhelmed during lunchtime. So yeah, so that's some of the stuff that you can change in the scheduling for now. We're still looking at ways in which we can add some more to this and like give you guys some more stuff that you can tweak for the schedule in the future. So we've also made some pretty big changes to the UI after observing people have some trouble with it during conventions. The menu options are now in a more concentrated area over here. And if you click on this, you'll see that, yeah, like before, whereas before your eyes would have to travel the whole length of the screen in order to find what you need. It's all like in a compact area, and hopefully that makes it a lot easier for you to find whatever it is you want to build. The to-do list has also been streamlined, whereas previously, like, it occupied this part of the screen, and we noticed in some conventions that people had the to-do list open all the way and like still like struggling to like play the game in like this small piece of screen real estate. So we decided to like just condense it so that all of the information that you need is right here in one smaller area, so that if you want to keep the to-do list open while you're playing, at least you still have this whole bunch of screen space to play around in. And lastly, we have like these rollover information bits over here to give you easier access to the information that you might need, in a much quicker space of time. So instead of having to click on these things to find out what you need, you can just roll over there and then see like how many teachers you have and like how many teachers are in each department, etc. So yeah, we'll be continuing to update and fix up like these UI issues over the course of time to hopefully provide you with a much better playing experience. So speaking of a more enjoyable experience, we've added some quality of life improvements that a lot of people have requested for. So previously you had to click and place each object individually, which was kind of a pain. But now you can just click and drag, click and drag, and build to your heart's content. And if you feel like you've made a mistake, no worries, just right click and drag, and it'll take care of the excess stuff that you built. So I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but this is actually the first time we're doing the devlog with the game's in-game sound effects playing. That's because we finally added quite a few new sound effects and ambient sounds to the game to help give it a more immersive experience. So for example, let's zoom in the map. And now you'll see that the closer we are to the map, the more we hear like the ambient sounds of the school. And in fact, there are some objects that when you click on them, they'll also have sound effects. So for example, that's what a urinal sounds like, and that's what a toilet sounds like. So over time, obviously, we will be adding much more of these sound effects, and hopefully you guys enjoy them, and and hopefully these little things that we do help in your enjoyment of the game. We've also created a bunch of new zones for you guys to enjoy. So since the last devlog, we've added the music room with a grand piano and currently only guitars coming out of that music closet, instrument cabinet. But we'll have some more instruments soon. We have the science lab where there are microscopes and kids are experimenting with Bunsen burners. And the art room, where everyone apparently is making industrial scale copies of Van Gogh's Starry Starry Night. Well, in the future, we do want to have some more variety with these things. We'll build that mechanic in very soon, just to give you guys some more visual variety. Right now, as with all of the other special rooms, these rooms are only used by the kids during their free time, which is recess, lunch, and dismissal time. But we are currently working on a system where they'll be using these classrooms, these special rooms inside of their classrooms, and the students will get bonuses to their learning points when they use these rooms. So that's something that's just over the horizon in terms of game mechanics. So the last thing that I want to show you guys is the fact that we have added more Steam Workshop or mod support, basically, for the game. So the two things that we added are localization mods and the ability to upload your maps. So for localization, we have quite a few already. So our most popular mod so far is the German localization mod. Someone's currently working on traditional Chinese. We have Japanese and Brazilian, and there's also someone working on simplified Chinese. So quite a few localization mods already, but we could always use your help with more of these mods in the future. Another cool thing that we did recently, like I mentioned, was you guys can now upload your schools. So we know that being able to upload your schools is one super cool thing that you can do with these kinds of games. So yeah, we're excited to finally be able to let you do that. So there's a lot of cool schools up on Steam Workshop right now. This one looks pretty cool. The girls' school gate entrance, that's a pretty cool design. We have quite a few interesting, there's one super interesting map actually, which is it's kind of clever. So this guy, he's basically made a map that's kind of like a puzzle, where see here, rebuild this once great school to its former glory. Project EDD2 coming soon with a smaller world. So yeah, so we don't even have campaigns yet for the game, but you guys are just so creative with what you do with the game, and so it really makes us inspired, and we can't wait to build more tools for you guys in the future for you to play around with. But in the meantime, please do check out the workshop and upload your maps. And if you are if you are a non-English speaker and you want to help help other players in your community find out more about academia by making a localization mod, we'd really appreciate it. So yeah, so go on and check out those mods, guys. And the last thing that I want to share with you guys before we close this off is that we are finally on Mac. Well, actually, we've been on Mac for a few months already, so this news is kind of late, but in case you're only hearing about it now, there you go. We are available on Mac, and we've had quite a few people already enjoying the game on the Mac. So yeah, that's it for this devlog. I was gonna say this month, but as I mentioned earlier, we have been pretty delinquent about these updates. Alpha 2 really just took a lot out of us, and it was one thing after another, and it was just really hard to get back in the swing of making these devlogs. But we will be trying to be more up to date, I guess, with these, and fingers crossed I will be back at the end of the month with another update. Until then, please do share, tweet, like, and just help us spread the word, please. And we'll be back with a new update soon.